Okay, and we're back with the second half of the show, Buck, and we're going to go straight to the BBC.com. But it's about the Cleveland police. It's about Cleveland. I don't get it. Is there a Cleveland in England? Is there a Cleveland, England? You should know this. You're worldly.
I, yeah, not that part of the world.
It says Cleveland PC sacked for a car crash lie to cover up lateness. Now, PC usually stands for police constable, so we're going to go with it. Yeah, it's probably in England. PC Andrew Siggins claimed he saw a car spin out of control, delaying his commute, but investigations found it to be a deliberate falsification. The Cleveland Police Misconduct Panel heard Mr. Siggins being late for work after previously been, quote, a cause for concern and criticism. He was dismissed without notice for gross misconduct. The panel said Mr. Siggins was due to start his shift at the Hartle Police Station at 7 p.m. on the 23rd of March. After initially starting his near 40-mile commute, he had to return home to collect his mobile phone, meaning he was not properly on his way until 6:25. This, the panel said, would mean he would have to drive at least 60 miles per hour the full way, which would have been impossible, especially through the speed restrictions around Testo Roundabout Roadworks on 819 at West Bolden near Sunderland. We gotta stop reading these freaking foreign articles. Mr. Sagan called his sergeant around 6:45 to say he was going to be late as he had just witnessed a car, quote, lose control and spin 360 degrees before pulling into the lay-by on A19, the panel said. Implausible story. He claimed to have spoken to the driver before letting him carry on, but the panel found the incident was deliberately falsification in a dishonest attempt to justify being late. The panel said Mr. Sagan's sergeant disbelieved his story as it seemed implausible. Officers went to speak to the man Mr. Siggins claimed to have seen spin out of the control, but he was perplexed. The man said he had been not involved in an accident and his journey had been entirely uneventful. The panel also found Mr. Siggins used the police national computer database to look up the supposed crash driver's details despite being told not to by a superior officer. When challenged, Mr. Siggins tried to blame the innocent driver, saying he must have backtracked. But the panel said Mr. Siggins' accusation was feeble and unpersuasive and obviously dishonest. In the case was the ex-officers alone. But that doesn't make sense. We consider Mr. Siggins to be a serious, dishonest person, as to be a threat to the integrity of police operations and to the public, who could have no faith in a force that would wish to keep him. There's more to that story of this guy calling and saying, I saw a car accident, than there is to the woman running out on the tarmac.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this whole shit blizzard, again, just making sure that I can connect all the dots, is spawned from him being late for work, calling in, telling a bullshit excuse, getting fucking called out, and he just instead of just falling on his sword at the very fucking beginning of this, it has to go to all the way to a panel to be like thoroughly investigated.
Well, and here's the real kicker. He actually thought this out. He picked a car that was on that route because probably whoever was passing him at that particular moment, and he ran their tag, and he did a report saying he witnessed this, and this was the person and everything, and called it all in, and did all this to try to cover up the fact that he was going to be late to work. And he thought he was going to get away with it. But the whole thing came about where he called from and said he saw it here. And the boss probably said he still would have been late. There's no way. But, what causes a boss to even look at it that close and say, I think this guy might be lying? Oh, I don't know, because he's a lying shitbag and you're tired of him, and this isn't the first time.
Right.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh no! You are not wrong. There, everything points to just that. Exactly how you described it. And
It's
you know what? Bravo to these fucking people, man. Bravo to the Brits. Bravo, because you know what? There's no union there. Like I don't think those police officers are a part of a labor union in Great Britain. I just don't.
I don't know.
And and even if they are, they were not gonna let this guy fucking talk his way out of it. They were like, "No, you're done." Like they even and he danced on that grave. He danced on that grave. He should have just been like, "Yep, I was late. Yep, I made it all up." He should have just done before it even got to the panel
He shouldn't.
review.
He never should have made it up. He just should have ate it and said I was late to work.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, if you craft an elaborate excuse, as soon as it starts to unravel, like you just gotta give it up. You just gotta let it go. And I'm glad he got fucking fired. I'm glad he got shit canned.
I wish once we would have the same common sense that once a police officer, anybody in law enforcement for that matter, is found to be dishonest, that they can no longer be a police officer.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
It's funny because there's a concept of crimis falsi that means you cannot get a job as a police officer if you have a conviction for any crime that involved lying. But yet, once you're in, you can lie as much as you want, and you're off scot-free. And I think what it comes down to is what you were saying a few moments ago, is not that the police administration want to put up with these folks. It's that you have unions that will protect everybody. Doesn't matter how much of a piece of shit they are, they'll protect everybody. I was in law enforcement as a union rep, and I'd get called to the office and say, "Hey, we need a union rep for this person." Okay, so I'd go up there and they'd start to talk to me in the hallway, and I'd just say, "Shut up, shut up. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know anything. Don't tell me anything, because if you lie to me, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth." And I'd go in and sit down, and there was certain tactics you did. And some of the shit people were accused of, I'd look right over at him and say, "You fucking did that thing, didn't you?" But nevertheless, they'd never get in trouble for it because the union would fight tooth and nail to avoid anything happening to them. And
Yeah.
in any other job, they would have been gone. Gone.
Either way, man. Like, what are we gonna give this Yahoo, man? What? Like, he falls in so many like.
I'm giving him a 4 because
Yes. That's what I'm thinking, man. 4.
4.
Good call.
If he's lying about something this trivial, what other shit has he lied about?
Yeah, like there are people in jail who probably like potentially shouldn't even be there because of this fucking asshole.
Possibly. Well, I'm not quite willing to go that far, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. Our next story comes from Outkick.com, Buck, and we're going to cover something that we've never covered before, and there's good reasoning behind it. We're covering a sporting event, and I don't particularly care for football, I'll be honest. And this is a football story, and I think you sent it to me. So let's just jump right into it here. Santa kicked out of AT&T Stadium after putting Cowboys fan in a headlock. Santa Claus has had enough, folks. Besides the ass-kicking being administered by the Dallas Cowboys to the Washington football team, and let me just say something about that. Okay, you don't want to be called the Washington Redskins. That's what they were, Redskins anymore. Fine, whatever. Pick a new fucking name. We can't think of anything, so we're just going to be called the Washington football team. That's stupid. Pick a name. Anyway, At the AT&T Turf Sunday night, there was plenty of action in the stands where punches were flying and a bad Santa was ejected from Jerry's World for putting a fellow Cowboys fan in a headlock. In a separate incident, a Cowboys fan was drilled in the face by a man wearing a pink polo shirt. Throw in Washington players trying to punch each other, and it was just one of those traditional nights when the division rivals get together for a Christmas weekend football game. The silver lining is it doesn't appear anyone was stabbed, shot, or left for dead in the parking lot after the game. Just a few minor skirmishes and emotions boiling over. All in all, this was a pretty positive outcome for everyone involved. Are you high? Written by Joe Kinsey. Are you high? It's not a positive outcome for anybody. The fact that people get so fired up of watching people play a game that they feel they need to come to blows, that's a problem.
A little bit. I don't see very much. Now, I've never been to an NFL sporting event.
I have.
But I can tell you that I have firsthand accounts of people explaining like the antics of the Dallas Cowboys fans.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Buck, we're both from Pennsylvania. Let's talk about the Philadelphia fucking Eagles.
Oh, buddy, I'm going to tell you what right now. If they were in this story, I would have been like, if the Eagles were involved in this story and their fans got involved, along with the Dallas Cowboys, we would have had a whole different type of article.
It would have been about murder and assaults and stabbings.
Yeah. But no, I've just heard stories that Dallas Cowboys fans can be real fucking rowdy. And, putting people in a fucking head, going to fisticuffs over a game, man. Like
the game that you're not even involved in, you are just spectating.
Yeah, and again, my knowledge of this game is very rudimentary at best, but isn't it true? Like, wasn't it written somewhere, or somewhere that there's only like 11 minutes of actual action that takes place in an NFL game?
That wouldn't be surprising to me.
Like, at what point in time did something happen in the span of that 11 minutes of action that caused you to go to fisticuffs? Like, but how low on the emotional IQ scale does one need to be in order to witness an event that happened in a broken span of 11 minutes that caused them to go into full outrage mode and go to fisticuffs with another person, put them in a headlock? Just a little brawling in the parking lot, but yeah, it's all right. Positive outcome. No, man,
it's not.
No,
when I was in high
school, this is a game.
When I was in high school,
it's a fucking game.
When I was in high school, I took a job over one summer umpiring Little League baseball, and let me tell you, that is the first time I ever got a cell phone, because I had to have one to call the police on the parents. More than once, a team forfeited because of the way the parents were acting. You would eject them, they'd refuse to leave, and you say, fine, game over. Your team forfeits. And then you got the hell out of there. You would think it's like, well, it's because their kids are involved. No, it's just people, when they get around sporting, anything with a fucking ball.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, you don't see people going all fucking crazy over badminton. So what are we going to give Bad Santa here?
It's not even. It's just, the Santa's in the headline because it's a Santa Claus, but sports fans as a whole, you get a 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking right along the same margin. I'll co-sign that. Let's go ahead and move on.
Well, we're coming to our main event, and typically with the Social Liability Podcast, we talk about people who are social liabilities. and I think we may have found one. Um, what is a social liability to you, Buck?
I would have to classify it as what you open the show with every single fucking time we've done this, man. Someone who just outright violates the social contract that we all agree to live by.
Well,
You know,
here's the thing. I also equate um, social liabilities as people who have a overinflated self-worth or a very strong sense of entitlement. And I think we may have found one because this is being reported by the Stoke Sentinel, which is a UK newspaper. And this is Dad goes to Indian restaurant for Christmas Day, then complains food is not, quote, traditional. A dad took his family to an Indian restaurant over Christmas dinner for only to complain they didn't serve the traditional Christmas fare. Rick Arpino went to the Rupashi Indian bar and restaurant on Christmas Day along with his partner and 4 kids. There, he said he ordered 2 Indian dinners for him and his partner and Christmas dinners for the children. He was furious when the children were served chicken and chips and half a fried tomato. Talking to TripAdvisor, Rick expressed his anger that the Indian restaurant did not serve, quote, traditional Christmas dinners. What an absolute farce of a restaurant. Christmas dinner ruined for our children on the whims of this establishment, Rick wrote on TripAdvisor and in a Facebook post. However, the Indian restaurant has said that it rang up its customers to advise in advance of Christmas Day to take their orders and to explain they are no longer serving a traditional Christmas dinner menu due to lack of interest. Since the complaint was published, hundreds of people have been leaving comments. Quote, I think Christmas dinner was ruined the second you decided to go for an Indian on for a Christmas dinner. This is it's like written really quick or something, but they're quoting. Another one wrote, the restaurant is a fabulous Indian restaurant serving wonderful Indian food. We love it there. However, it would probably be a low down on my list of places to go to host a traditional British Christmas lunch. Maybe try another establishment rather than giving it a bad review. Rachel Brown went to the restaurant on Christmas Day and said she was told they're not doing Christmas dinners when she booked. She said, I went yesterday and I couldn't fault it. We have been having, as we had an amazing curry. After all, it isn't an Indian curry house. If you wanted English food, I was just going to a pub or somewhere. They did come around asking if everything was okay, and you really should have said something and not slag them all over Facebook. The restaurant's manager, Shaha Minhum, I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I don't want to mutilate your name. Has said that he's written the TripAdvisor to complain about the review. He also explained the reason the restaurant did not serve traditional Christmas dinners. He said that it's not worth all the hard work to prepare a traditional British dinner when they had very few customers ordering it. We went to please our customers, we give them options, and they chose chicken and chips. I fully agree with them not being happy. I did my best. But unfortunately, after leaving, they wrote on Facebook and TripAdvisor. I don't know why they would be doing that. They served around 80 customers on Christmas Day and on Saturday, December 25th. One of those customers left a 5-star review. We came for Christmas Day 6 off of... It's God bless it. Quit quoting these people directly and paraphrase. Use excellent food, fantastic service, and staff curries. Thank you for the lovely meal. User blah, 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 blah. Mr. Shaw has been running the restaurant for 11 years and has been struggling bringing all of his customers back to the restaurant post-lockdown. It's very hard to run a business right now. He said negative reviews can impact his business. It's easy for them to write a review on TripAdvisor. It's hard to run a business and keep customers happy. What do you think, Buck?
Wow.
It's like going to a sushi restaurant and being upset they don't serve hamburgers.
Yeah. I mean, what I don't even know. I don't even like all these people who were responding in the comments really pointed out a really good thing. Why the fuck are you going for a traditional Christmas meal at a curry house? What about curry house screams ideal Christmas lunch location to any individual. What?
Here's the thing. I don't know what a traditional British Christmas dinner is. I'm just going to equate it to an American dinner. Typically, for us, it's ham, beets, corn, mashed potatoes, big meal type stuff. If I did not want to cook Christmas dinner, one, I'd be hard-pressed to find a restaurant that is open. The only ones you're typically going to find that are open are, guess what? Foreign restaurants.
Yeah.
And I have, more than once, Christmas dinner has come in little boxes from a Chinese restaurant. I have never once, in any of those circumstances, thought to myself, because that's what I call myself, I'm going to go down to Ping's and I'm going to get me a ham. No, I get the fucking sweet and sour chicken and I move on with my day.
I don't even think that I would eat mashed potatoes, and again, just traditional, equating it to what we know. But like mashed potatoes in a Chinese food carryout box would not. It just, there's nothing that even seems appetizing about that to me. Just nothing.
This dude's a douchebag. I mean, this isn't a Karen. This is a Darren. This guy's an asshole.
I mean, and then he's gonna go and start bashing the guy. Like, this dude, like, he's probably living the English dream. I can't call it the American dream. That would be wildly inappropriate. But he's probably living the dream over there in mildly above average Britain, and the guy's just gonna shit all over his day. Like, what? Like, I don't get it. And the guy, even the business owner's like, I'm sorry, he was happy. I did everything I could. It's like, no, dude, you don't need to be sorry for shit, man. Like, you don't need to be sorry for anything. Nothing. Business owner here needs to be sorry for nothing. Like, God. No, man.
So what are you going to give Darren here?
Oh, my gosh. Well, he's there with his family. It means he's procreated. He's probably spreading this kind of ignorance and bigotry throughout the mass.
4 kids.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna give this guy a 4.5.
Wow. I mean, I'm hard pressed to figure if I want to give a 3 or a 4, because nobody was technically hurt. He was just being a dickhead online. But the sense of entitlement, Jesus Christ, what else is going on with this dude? So I'll co-sign the 4. I'll co-sign the 4.
He's breeding, like, not only is he perpetrating this kind of behavior on his own, he's reinforcing that it's okay to his own children. Like, no, you are that good. It's like, no, you're not that good. You're just like everybody else. You put your pants on one leg at a time. That's it. That's like, you're no better. Going to a curry house for fucking traditional. That's just.
Yeah. I'm going to McDonald's and get a steak.
Yeah, right. And then bitch and give them a bad review when they can't give it to you. Like,
I'm going to go to the pizza place and I'm going to get highly, highly upset that they don't serve ramen. I mean, fuck, dude.
Yeah,
But it's Chinese New Year. You should have dim sum here. Why? Why don't you, sir? We're McDonald's or we're Burger King.
Yeah, I'll scale them down to a 4, but either way, you know what? I mean, just remember that everybody's got their own baggage, man. Like, everybody's got their own fucking shit, and walking around and projecting that you're better than people or that you should get something because that's just wrong.
Yes, indeedy. That being said, folks, that brings us to an end of another episode of the Social Liability Podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a review on Apple iTunes. That'd be lovely. But most importantly, tell a friend. Help us get this podcast out there. Maybe give us a share on Twitter or Facebook. Anything to help us out would be appreciated. That being said, folks, I'm the Raspberries with my co-host, the Buck Grundle, wishing you all a happy and safe New Year's.